Okay, so let's get started with the Pickapile. If you want to watch the video of my son Isaiah helping me out to pick the cards, I will post that in the description if you want to watch how we made the piles. Thank you, Isaiah, for doing that.
You're welcome, Mom.
And let's get started. Let me put my earphones in so I'm just bit more in tune. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, so this will be pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And this is the Winds of Change. So that is our theme. Hopefully the cards will give us some insight on some change that's happening. So let me just move this pile out of the way. And this pile out of the way. And we'll put this here. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so the first one coming out is letting go. Oh gosh, my little device is, there we go. Okay, so it's letting go. That's definitely in the theme of Winds of Change. And I'm going to lay out all the cards and then we'll interpret them because I don't know how they're going to come play off each other. Okay, so this next one is worthiness. This next one is don't be afraid. Let me just move these out of the way. Okay. This next one says, we will light the path to new possibilities for your future. Stay aware. And that is, I think that one is Messages from Heaven, Oracle. Okay, so you see the winds outside. And that goes under letting go. And so then the next one is don't relinquish your power. The next one is listen. Oh, I hope you can see that. Maybe I'll just angle it a little ways here. So it says, you have to be willing to listen if you want to really understand someone. Now is not the time to be offering advice, but to be a compassionate listener. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention, not to just what's being said, but to what lies beneath the words, reading between the lines. Okay. And we'll just turn this a little bit. And the next one is, oh God, this is like creating quite the shadow here. Titanium rainbow, multifaceted. There are many layers and dimensions to the situation or person you're asking about, or what it's pertaining to, I'm guessing. Now let's put this over here because we're getting out of the sight of the camera here. Okay, so then the next few cards are tarot cards. So let's see what we have here. We have the Hanging Man. We have Spiritual Union, which is like the Two of Cups. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Five of Cups. And the final one we have is the Hierophant. Okay, so let me just see how I can interpret this. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. It was letting go and worthiness. Okay. So in these two, it's like for letting go, it's obvious if we're talking about with worthiness, is understanding your own worth and letting go of those things that don't seem to add to your self-worth, or especially letting go of things that don't add, that take away from your self-worth or make you feel unworthy. You are worthy. Okay. And then we had listen. We had don't be afraid and listen. So to me, it feels like, letting go can be scary. And so I think that it's like you're receiving a message from heaven saying, don't be afraid. And, maybe it's about, with this listen card, it's really about reading between the lines and understanding that you're getting guidance from the divine. And so, listening, pay attention to synchronicities, to signs. Like, I know there's a couple other oracles, like the romance deck, where it's like, look out for the red flags. So I feel like don't be afraid, but also be aware, right? Pay attention to the red flags. And this could be in regard to a spiritual union. It could be, I feel like for some of you, it is in regard to a spiritual union, but it's about other people involving themselves or, making you second guess yourself as to if this is the right thing for you. And I think if you listen to your intuition and what these cards are saying, if this is the pile that you picked, it's like, don't relinquish your power to somebody else. Don't make decisions based on what other people think. If it feels right to you, then listen to your intuition. Because it looks like you've put a lot of, time and effort into growing this. And you're the one in the relationship, not other people, right? So if this is in regard to someone, or, it could be family, friends, anyone that feels like they're trying to give you advice about a particular relationship, maybe they're the ones that you need to let go of. Not everybody knows what's best for you. You know what's best for you. You just have to trust your intuition. And this could cause some feelings of loss. I mean, this could, that Five of Cups energy where it's like, sometimes even though things we know are not the best for us, it still hurts when we let them go. Because Spirit is telling you that they're lighting the path for you. They're making it as easy as possible for you because they know this is going to be really hard to let go. And I think with this card, multifaceted, and it says there are many layers and dimensions to the situation or person you're asking about. I think this is really telling you to listen to your heart, listen to your guides, and understand that what you see is not everything about this person. There's more to the situation. It could be the person that's giving you the advice. It could be the person that you are in a relationship with. So really trying to see the different perspective here and use faith to guide you. Because the Hierophant to me is really about faith, the wisdom that you have collected over the years, all the lessons, life lessons that you've learned, and, making a real strong decision based on your intuition. And the divine guides you through your intuition. So the Hierophant can also be about that divine path that you have to God or whatever you believe in. Okay, so that is the first pile, and we will move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one was this green. I don't know if this is fluorite or some other. I tried to look up the stones, but I couldn't tell the difference between some of them. So let's see what we have in this pile. Okay, so the first card out is procrastination. And there's a clock in the background. It's like, and there's a black cat there. So if that resonates with you at all. So let's see what else we get for procrastination. Manifestation. So I think it's really talking about don't put off the manifestations that you are trying to work with. Come on, boys, be quiet. Next one out. Life is a series of choices. Choose love. So maybe you're procrastinating a certain decision, and this message is telling you to choose love. Next one out. Have you laughed today? Find your joy. Lift your soul. So maybe that is significant to you to help you make a certain decision, or maybe you are manifesting a new love, and somebody that makes you laugh and brings joy to your life is going to be the right person to pick. Trust your intuition. So definitely there is some type of choice or, soul searching that you need to do in regard to a certain situation. Next we have forgiveness, and I hope you can see this. But it says, holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or even suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest and most damaging of human emotions. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. Beautiful. So maybe you are trying to manifest forgiveness. Either forgiveness for yourself, you forgiving yourself, maybe somebody that you may have hurt, whether intentional or not. You are really trying to get forgiveness from them. The next one we have is rubellite. Hopefully you can see that's a really pretty card. It says passion and purpose. Your enthusiasm gives you energy and motivation to work on a meaningful project that's dear to your heart. And this really could go along with the manifestation. Okay, let me just move these over a little bit, because then we're going to get into the tarot cards here that came out for you. So the first one that we have is Nine of Cups. Beautiful. It's wish fulfillment. And this, you see this man is laughing there, and I think it goes well with this, choosing love and choosing joy. Next one out we have is the Ace of Swords, which it says triumphant success. So manifestation, getting that triumphant success when you choose love. Next one out is Four of Swords. Hopefully you can see that. And this is really talking about rest and relaxation and contemplation, introspection. The next one we have is the Ten of Swords. So there will be some closure to some very painful situations. So I think that maybe that's something that goes along with that procrastination. Finally getting closure, finally using your intuition to work through those issues that you need closure from the past. And the final one is the Four of Pentacles. So being that it goes with the manifestation, I'm feeling like you are manifesting abundance and prosperity, but if you have to also be very generous in order to receive that manifestation. You could be in a place of fear regarding your prosperity, regarding, can you maintain the level of prosperity that you are at. But to me, it looks like you're trying to manifest some type of abundance, and you have, in order to receive, you have to open yourself to that. And this person is very closed off. So you either, for some of you, it may be that you have to open yourself to receive that manifestation. And some of you have to release that fear that you're going to lose what you already have. So generosity, opening, being open to receive, and also being open to, or less attached to, the material things that you currently have. Okay, so that's all I have for that one. And that was the second one, this green and purple stone. All right, so let's move on to the next one. And I will timestamp. I haven't done this before, so hopefully I do that correctly. If not, if one of you guys get to it before I do, please put the timestamps and help us out. That would be great. Okay, so the final pile is this kind of golden crystal here. I don't know what it is. And we'll just put that up here. All right, so let's get started with this pile. Oh, wow. So the first one is love. It's a really beautiful card. So this is going to be a good one. Oh, the next one is love. So we got love back to back. No way we can deny what this message is about. The next one we have has a big old heart, but it says tears cleanse the soul. The next one we have, it says don't rush into making big decisions right now. Take your time. The next one says thoughts create your reality. I think that's really talking about being mindful of what you're thinking. The next one is stay connected. And it says, we are all born connected to spirit, often known as the divine source. Yet many of us have a tendency to pull away from that connection as we journey through life in the physical world. Now is an important time to reconnect to the source. And that's also under love, the other love. Next one out is jade. And it says wellness. The recovery of health and wellness is here. And that goes right under tears cleanse the soul. The next one out is the Hermit card. And this looks like someone that's in meditation and taking the time, like it says here. Actually, I'm going to do this a certain way here. Let's go like this. And I'm just going to put that here. The next one is this is the Hierophant card. And we already got that in one of the other piles. It's talking about authority. Oh no, actually this is not Hierophant. This is the Emperor. I'm sorry. The next one is justice. And it's funny how this picture is. It's like your thoughts, see that sword of justice there. Swords represent truth. So it's like there's balance to this truth, but that also represents thoughts, right? And that can go right over this thoughts create your reality. And you can see that she's not even seeing herself the same as how she really appears. The next one out is 5 of Swords. This is talking about some type of conflict, and that's going with love here. And the final is judgment. So I definitely think that there's some kind of choice or judgment that needs to be made. So being that we got 2 love cards here, let's start with those. I can reach them around the camera here. So these are both different. And I feel like the first one's really this 28 card, which is 10, which is a completion. Or it could be a 1, and that's new love. But the second one, I really feel like it's about self-love. And so any kind of love that that tends to keep you from that self-love, that makes you feel less than, yeah, that's not real true love. I mean, it could be, but it's like, you should not feel less, less, you should not feel any less of a person because of the relationship that you're in. Tears cleanse the soul. So that one, actually, let me put it with this one. I feel like when we're talking about wellness and the recovery of health and wellness and just recovering, right? And then in that beautiful jade card, and this is like definitely a medical symbol. And, maybe there's been something that you found out about your health, or somebody else's health in your relationship, or it could just be about healing. Wellness definitely is related to healing. And so I think that there's some healing that that many of you will need to go through in relation to love, which will give you that self-love. And maybe this relationship was just too much, or maybe it needs to take on a new phase. I mean, this is talking about not rushing into making a big decision right now. Take your time. And sometimes, sometimes working on yourself can have a profound effect on your loving relationships, whether it's good or bad. So I also feel like this taking your time goes hand in hand with the Hermit card, because the Hermit is someone that is, takes time away from, he goes away from anything in his environment, and, nothing can infiltrate that. He needs that quiet time, uninterrupted time to really look deep in his intuition and his heart and get the guidance. I mean, he still has that wand that's lit up, and that is kind of like his receptor or his crown chakra receiving that divine guidance. So take your time and do things right. Because there is, when we have authority, which is the Emperor, we have justice, and we have judgment. This is really like a lot of major decisions. And it could be about resurrecting a relationship with someone that's really become the emperor. It could be about letting go of ego, or understanding that someone else's ego is not necessarily leading them correctly. And understanding that your thoughts create your reality. That goes back to the law of attraction, and understanding that that you can create, just like that 8 of Swords energy. It's not present here, but I feel it kind of with this 5 of Swords, this conflict, this mental conflict. So it's like you will be getting that true clarity if you take the time, take that Hermit time to go within and and let the divine guide you. Stay connected to the source. The universe will not lead you astray, especially if you are in tune with your intuition, which can be easier said than done because your ego tends to get in the way and make you feel like you can't trust your intuition. And something in the past you may have made a decision in the past that really made you question whether your intuition could lead you correctly or not. But that was your ego that ever made a, bad decision. Your intuition, if you are in tune with it, is never going to lead you astray. It's going to call you in and send you in the right direction always. Well, that is all I have for you, and I hope you enjoyed this. This is my first time doing a Pickapile, and if you like them, then I will definitely do more. And like I said before, I put the actual picking of the piles, a video of that. I'll put that in the description where my son helped me pick out the cards for each pile. Okay, and if any of you know what these different crystals were, please put them in the comments because they are really beautiful. I have them. I just don't necessarily know what they're called and what their meanings are. So do like, share, and subscribe, please. It's a small thing you can do for me, but it means the world. And remember that the universe has your back, and so do I. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.